Before we start, I would just like to say that none of this footage is mine. Check out GamerJGB for the original videos. I'll leave the link to his channel in the description. Now here's my top 10 Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tracks. Here, to start off the list, is Cheep Cheep Beach. I mainly chose this map because of its bright colors and its tropical theme. This track also gets some credit because it's a remake of one of my favorites from Mario Kart DS. And the transition from beach to jungle adds a little bit of variety to the scenery. The only reason it's at the bottom of the list is because its actual gameplay is very average. Next up is Ribbon Road. This track puts racers in what looks like a giant kid's bedroom. This track features 3 toy castles, a red one to represent Princess Peach's castle, a green one to represent Bowser's, and a blue one to represent Rosalina's. I like the hidden detail too that in the part of the track that goes through Rosalina's castle, the track kind of waves up and down because Rosalina is supposed to be in space. This is also the first track on the list that includes shortcuts, and these ones are a little bit hard to pull off too. Dolphin Souls. This track isn't very long, but there's a lot to see. The gameplay is good too. It gives players multiple choices and there's a few places to drift. One of the main reasons this track is on my list though is the music. It's got kind of a jazzy tune that changes depending on how deep in the water you are. You won't be able to hear that now though because the music I'm using isn't in-game audio, I just took it off of YouTube. This track has lots of action. Big Blue has speed boosts, water slides, conveyor belts, flying, and those purple things that give you coins when you drive over them. Basically, this track has really good, fast-paced gameplay. The track itself isn't the best visually, but it does look very clean. This track is also so long that it's just one lap, but split into 3 sections. Mount Wario is similar to Big Blue in that it's a one-lap course split into 3 sections. Mount Wario might not have as much action as Big Blue, but it more than makes up for it with how much there is to see. The race starts in a plain, then you make your way down the mountain, passing through caves, a dam, and after that you race through an alpine forest which opens up into a ski slope, the final part of the race. Also, similarly to Dolphin Souls, the music changes throughout each section of the race. Number 5 is Ice Outpost. This might be the most surprising track on the list since I don't see many other people include this track on their top 10. One of the reasons it's on my list though is the dual tracks, because you have to constantly switch between them in order to get the shortest path to the goal. Also, the green and yellow contrast nicely against the ice, which overall gives the track a simple, clean look. The other reason this track takes 5th place is because it has 3 shortcuts, and while they all vary in difficulty, I think they're all worth it. This next track has something that sets it apart from all the others. In Toad Harbor, you're always making decisions because there's a bunch of different paths you can take. This makes it one of my favorite tracks in the game because every single lap is different. There is another track that kind of does something similar to this, and that is, Yoshi's Valley, but it doesn't really feel as natural and it just doesn't look as good as Toad Harbor either. Apart from the gameplay, another part that makes Toad Harbor one of my favorite tracks is the location. It just looks really nice when you're racing through a seaside town. Even if you've never played Animal Crossing, this Animal Crossing inspired track will make you feel at home. The season changes every time you race here, which mostly just affects visuals, but also has some minor gameplay tweaks as well. And there are so many other reasons Animal Crossing deserves 3rd place. Besides being one of the best looking tracks, there's also a lot of secrets that can be found here. For example, If you stop next to Nook's Cranny, that's hard to say, that's the store, then you can actually hear the theme music from the original game. Also, you can manually select which season you race on by pressing one of the 4 shoulder buttons before you begin the race, each one corresponding to a different season. Wildwoods is the best looking track in the game. The track is covered in detail, but that detail extends into the surroundings and even into the background. The giant trees and mushroom houses give the track a classic fantasy kind of feel, which also makes it one of my favorites. The coolest part, in my opinion, is when you fly through the Shy Guy village, because there's just a lot going on. There's Shy Guys ziplining across, and there's all the different colored houses. And then that is immediately followed by a water slide that goes down through the tree, and it just looks great. And finally, as a cherry on top, the music on this track flows really well. On some other tracks, the music just doesn't quite fit as nicely. My favorite track in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is DK Jungle. The gameplay is good, the graphics are good, and the music is good. It doesn't excel at any one thing, but since it ranks above average in each category, it gets first place. Oddly enough, I don't really have as much to say about this track as any of the others though. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching my top 10 Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tracks. Let me know where you agree or disagree in the comments. And also, as soon as this video gets 10 likes, I'll start working on my top 10 worst Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tracks. So again, thank you so much, and I'll see you later.